Our next matchup is for the vacant Clan Wars Super Welterweight title. Introducing first, fighting out of No Fear MMA, please welcome to the cage, Peter Halpenny. And his opponent representing OMMA, put your hands together for Stephen Cunningham.
Recently picked up bronze at the Four Nations Amateur Tournament in July of this year. Stephen Cunningham, again, not belaying of his age, is a veteran of the Irish MMA scene. Fantastic boxing, has collated a number of amateur titles. Four wins on his ledger does Cunningham, 3 by way of submission, 1 by way of decision.
Both fighters looking to feel each other out, find the range here.
This is exactly where Peter wants to take the fight, but defended beautifully by Cunningham, who finishes up on top. Cunningham harnessing the power of the mullet.
Halpenny, his only defense being butter hooks at the moment. Trying to create some space for a sweep, it looks to me. Tries the elevation. Couldn't quite get him turned.
Cunningham trying to create, free him off and separate so we can land big shots. Wasn't able to hit the switch on the sweep. Cunningham needs to keep those hips low and compact.
As you said, Phil, Halpenny's able to get the elevation, but he can't just turn over.
Good job of Cunningham to compress Peter here, not allowing him to open up that guard, create angles for himself. Close guard more often than not, a defensive mode. Peter's going to have to open up that guard, get a foot on the hip if he wants to do anything proactive.
He's been doing a good job of holding the posture at bay of Cunningham so he can't get some strikes off.
There you see the opening of the guard, trying to switch out the hips. He's impeded by the cage, which is smart work from Cunningham because he was the one that brought him to the cage.
So he has the posture broken now, which means he can think about opening up again, look for something. Thinking about a flower sweep. Hasn't got it.
Good heavy sprawl from Cunningham there, tickling the ribs. But Peter gets up, trying to get in on the single here. What's the defensive work of Cunningham like?
Quick warning about where his fingers are at.
Being there, brother. That's just that open hand strike from close quarters. We know that that can cause damage.
It's certainly smart. Nice knees on the inside by Halpenny there. Tries to tenderize the legs of Cunningham.
Cunningham now trying to lace up a leg of his own to score the takedown. Again, good head positioning here from Cunningham, right underneath the chin. Scores the takedown, and in a very close round, that'll be one of the lasting markers.
That's definitely going to score heavily.
Watch out
as the clapper sounds.
Peter initially looked like he was going for bicep control to set up a triangle, but it would have been more of a throwaway gesture with 10 seconds left in the round.
Take your tattoo game to the next level with Sailor's Grave Tattoo. Taking walk-ins or by a...
Regardless, we are going to be saying "and new" by the end of this bout. That's good head movement from Cunningham. Forced to sprawl heavy. Peter trying to get in on that single. Heavy, heavy hips here from Cunningham. Stuffing the head down, doing everything right.
Has he? I was just going to say, as he started, he's an opportunity for a reversal here to come out on top, which he's done now.
Cunningham now sitting in the closed guard. Peter trying to get in on a guillotine of his own. And he's being sneaky with it. He's just making little adjustments.
Nothing to see here. Just moving my arm a little bit.
He's clamped down on, he has that wizard clamp on the arm of Cunningham. Trying to isolate that. It'll be interesting to see what he works for here, but works that guard just a little bit higher. Cunningham again trying to compress Peter against the cage. And on a figure 4 here. Beautiful thing about that Kimura grip is you don't necessarily need to use it as an offensive submission. You can use it as a means of advancing your own position.
He can start to generate space with that, you're right, Phil, rather than an actual attack.
If he can elevate the butterfly and bring Cunningham towards us, chooses not to.
When he has that control, that Kimura control, he's lost now. But it's these brief moments in the jiu-jitsu game that make all the difference.
Cunningham with the Dagestani handcuff right now. If he can free his left hand. Halpenny again,
Kimura
reverse
grip.
to the Kimura.
He looks like he's attacking with it.
He may try and rip this. Cunningham can grip the inside of his own shorts.
Part transition to a knee bar. Looks like he's still looking at attacking that leg. He doesn't have a great position for it, but he can make this work.
Can go for straight ankle locks and knee bars. Cannot go for the heel hook in this position. Oh, that looked like he had the heel at a stage.
It did look like it at that point. There's a lot of pressure, torque pressure on the knee there.
Now he can go for the Achilles crush or the calf crush here. Traditionally a little bit more difficult because the ridge of the gloves, you can't get it in no gi, and when you get it grappling in no gi at the gym, it gives a false sense of security, but when you're wearing these bigger MMA gloves, the ridge of the wrist isn't exposed, and that's what you're really using to get the tap.
You can't get that bone in there, exactly right, Phil.
Once again, been there, brother. End of the second round, and again, Peter opening up a little bit more in the second round, taking a few more chances.
Landed a punch right on the buzzer. Did Cunningham.
But that round is the progression of the attacks.
Exactly right. Both of these men now showing a small bit of fatigue, as you would expect from such a competitive 2 rounds. We're in here for the 3rd, and this round is going to crown a new champion.
For the first time, Halpenny gets the takedown and lands up on top.
In half guard, landing some strikes. Trying to work the head position there.
Cunningham does have the knee shield, trying to create a little bit of distance between himself and Peter. Close guard here for Stevie Cunningham.
Now Halpenny needs to get his head up here if he wants to land some strikes. He's turning him into open space.
But like we said, Cunningham is no slouch on the ground himself. 3 of his 4 wins coming by way of submission. If he reaches down and grabs the ankles here, slight switch in the hips there from Cunningham, abandons it, closes the guard again.
There was a risk there that Halpenny's hips were so high he was going to wind up getting swept, but I think he reacted well there. He was using his head to pin him, and when he felt he lost control, he brought his hips back down to safety. I thought we're getting body head there.
Real intricate battle. A wise man once said, this is kinetic chess with dire physical consequences. That's what we're seeing here.
Cunningham doing a good job of holding the weight. As I mentioned already, Halpenny is using his head there to keep him pinned in against the fence. He just needs to convert that now to some damage, and here he goes.
Now these are the things that are going to leave real markers in the eyes of the judges. Posturing up, landing big strikes. And they don't necessarily need to be concussive, you just need to be seen to be being proactive.
The story of this round has been that takedown that Halpenny landed. He's been on top and in the ascendancy since.
Just entering the final minute of the round and indeed the fight.
Nice hammer fist right combination there.
I love when you hear from the crowd, just stand up, because yes, it is that simple, you just stand up.
Cunningham looking for a scissor sweep. Passing attempt from Halpenny, physical chess in spades here, Phil.
Great work by Cunningham again, he's just doing a good job of, yes, he may be on his back, but he's preventing and locking up Cunningham. Both fighters are frustrating each other and to a certain degree, cancelling each other out in this 3rd round.
Oh, he got hurt. Up kick.
That was an up kick from Cunningham. That was the most definitive moment of the fight for me.
It absolutely was. If he'd been able to capitalise on that, it could have led to a stoppage.
Is that an up kick to the liver?
I think it might have been.
Cannot wait to
Wrong
watch
side.
that back. But once again, these fighters could not be separated throughout the 9 minutes of the bout. We go to the judges' scorecards. Inevitably, we will have a new champion. But who will it be?
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a tremendous matchup here in our co-main event. Our first judge scores about 29-28 Cunningham. Our second judge scores about 29-28 Halpenny. And our third judge scores about 29-28 for the new Super Welterweight champion,